Hey there, Scorpio. Welcome to your reading this is part 2 for the week of April 11th. This right here is part 1. If you haven't watched it yet, it is linked up in the description down below. With that moon perception card there, you have this Pluto card. It says rebirth on it. I don't know. The whole entire first reading, I was basically talking about a rebirth with that 8 of Cups at the end there. I didn't say the word rebirth, but, pretty much. So it wouldn't really surprise me if you're experiencing rebirth at this time. With the 3 of Pentacles, you have the 2 of Wands. 2 of Wands is about taking the lead, and you have the Emperor here. The Emperor is a card of leadership and taking the lead. To me, it's more kind of like a card of answering the call. I'll tell you why. Because he has the armor. He has this armor on underneath his cloak right here. So he's not really taking action. He's not really doing anything on the card, but he is ready for action at a moment's notice. He is ready to go whenever the call happens. If he's called to do something, right? He has everything about him. He has these ram's horns here, or the rams, the heads. They represent quick action as well. Like I said, he has the armor as well. So I feel for a lot of you that the 2 of Wands is about taking the lead, and especially with that Emperor, the Aries energy there. And it doesn't matter if you don't have Aries in your chart or anything like that, Scorpio. I just feel like this is an energy that you are embracing at this time. 2 of Wands, I might have said Pentacles, sorry, but 2 of Wands is an energy that's been coming up a lot. And again, I think that the 2 of Wands is, I wouldn't really say like inspiring people, but I do feel like the 2 of Wands energy is asking people to kind of believe that things can get better, that things can be different. The whole story with the 2 of Wands, and I'm going to spend time on this because it's important, is like he has accomplished everything he wants. He's standing at the top of a castle normally. He's got the whole world in his hands, but he's like looking out in front of him. He feels like what he has in front of him is all that there is. He doesn't realize he's got the whole world in his hands. He can create whatever he wants. He can experience so much more than he has before. In your first reading, we were talking about perspective with that 3 of Pentacles and saying there might be people who have different perspectives on life, and that might be very important to you. It actually reminds me of the Neptune and Pisces energy. With Neptune and Pisces, I feel like this is something that can happen quite a bit, where it's like we can, Neptune and Pisces to me is a direct challenge to traditional beliefs. And Neptune and Pisces is like, maybe you learned something about something you've always believed as not true or whatever. It doesn't have to be a bad thing. It doesn't have to be a big thing either, but it could kind of like spice up your life, make things more exciting. And I kind of see that happening here. With the star, you have the moon card. Again, you have basically 2 cards that kind of represent the same thing, the moon and the 8 of Cups. I really see this as you innovating, you experiencing new things in your life, doing things differently, and having different experiences. I feel like because of the new experiences that you're having, it's almost like you're entering into a new world with the moon card. The moon kind of says keep going. I feel like, I think that's one of the hardest parts of being alive right now as well. One of the many things is that maybe we don't know exactly what we're doing. We don't know exactly where we're going. I feel like there's comfort in knowing that nobody knows what they're doing right now. I feel like that's comfortable because it's like once you realize that nobody knows what they're doing, we're all just flying by the seat of our pants, right? Then it's like we're kind of like we're all the same, in a good way. The other thing is, I feel with the moon, as long as we have a general idea of what we're moving towards, that's all that matters. Like how we get there doesn't really matter, right? And I feel like we just need to kind of keep our mission, and we need to have a mission in life as well. And if you feel like you don't have a mission, I would say a couple of things, Scorpio. Number one, it doesn't have to be big. I think people say you have to have a mission, and they think like, oh, I have to save the world. I would say no. Your mission could be to save a goldfish or something small, right? It doesn't have to be something gigantic. It could be just like a simple mission. Your mission could be to raise a successful family, right? That's a great mission as well. It's going to be different for all of us. Nothing is better or worse than anything else as long as you have that mission in mind. And I really feel this reading is asking you to have a mission if you don't already, right? It's like my mission is to help people make their dent in the universe. I'm working on a bunch of stuff behind the scenes to make that a reality, right? Because I want to help more people do what I've done. And so what I would say here is that I feel like as long as you have something to work towards, how you get there doesn't really matter. With the Two of Pentacles here, you have the Wheel of Fortune. Your fortunes, things are changing for sure. Again, part of the thing about like entering into the new world is that maybe things that worked for you that didn't work for you in the past are going to work now. So I feel like this is saying try again. Try to do something that you tried in the past that didn't work out. Try again, and I feel like you'll be successful. With that koala spirit, here you go. You have this antelope spirit. It says life is speeding up. Again, both water signs had something in their readings that was kind of like saying things are speeding up. I kind of got this more like of a smooth energy for the water signs in general, where it's like, maybe I'm not saying things are going to be easy, but there's just like a general smoothness to the way things progress. There will always be obstacles. There will always be things to overcome. But I think if you're working towards your mission, whatever it is, doesn't matter. I think that if you're going in the right direction, the universe is going to make things kind of have a progress, or things are going to have a certain flow to them. I also think that that we need to make sure we're not staying stuck on something. And what I mean by that is like, I would be careful of falling in love with an idea. And that does not mean that you shouldn't love the idea that you're doing. Let me give you an example. I'm starting a podcast, and that's part of me kind of wanting to help people make a dent in the universe. But it's like, I love the idea. I've always loved the idea. I've always wanted to do it. But at the same time, if it doesn't work out, then, I'm doing other things as well. And I think I'm not saying that we should be scattered. It's like everything I'm doing is, again, going towards one focused mission, right? It all kind of plays in, but there are other things other than the podcast that I'm doing to kind of promote my mission, right? And so I feel if the podcast doesn't work out, I'm just going to move on to something that does. And I think we kind of need to stay focused but flexible, if that makes sense, where we need to make sure we're not scattered and doing a million different things. But I think as long as we're doing things that are related to whatever our mission is, I know that sounds confusing, but I would just stay flexible because I don't know. I just intuitively, I feel like the universe wants us to. So again, sorry for talking about myself so much today, Scorpio, but I feel like it's helpful. With the Eight of Swords, you have the Three of Cups. Again, a lot of stuff here about teamwork. I've been saying it for months now. Teamwork makes a dream work. To me, it's all up in the astrology. So I would look at things that you're not good at doing, and I would say, what am I not good at doing? What could someone help me do? What could someone what could someone guide me on? What is there someone that could pick up the slack in my life, right? And all that other stuff. And I feel for a lot of you that's what you should be looking at here with the Three of Cups is, are there people who can support you? And I'm not saying you have to, pay people or anything like that, right? Maybe at this time, maybe you have a business and you can't afford to pay someone, but it's like maybe you have a friend who can be like an accountability partner. Maybe you have maybe there's a group that you could belong to for free on Facebook. Again, none of this stuff has to cost money. If you have money, it definitely, I think, could grease the wheels a little bit faster, but again, it's not required. And I would say, are there people who can kind of fill in some gaps in your life? Again, maybe you just need support, and that's enough. I feel what people need to realize right now is that we're kind of building these like symbiotic relationships, I believe, with other people, where it's like you scratch my back, I scratch yours. I don't think, again, you're not entering into these relationships thinking, I'm going to get something out of this. I just think that entering into helpful relationships where you help them, they help you, it's like the way of the future, right? We're entering into this very co-creative energy, I believe. And, so anything you can do, to do that in business and work is going to be very special, very important, really helpful. Same thing in love as well. It's like entering into a relationship that's more co-creative and keeping that focus, right? I think we get into these relationships in this like combative space. If you look at modern day relationships, right, which we need to change if we're going to have relationships. And again, I'm not saying we need to have relationships either. I'm not sure. I don't know if we're meant to have like these monogamous relationships or whatever you want to call it. I don't know. With the Emperor, you have the Two of Swords here. The Two of Swords is about making a decision. Again, normally there's a new island behind the lady on the Two of Swords, and she needs to go over to that new island. Again, everything in your reading is pushing you towards like a new experience or something new. With the Five of Wands, you have the Page of Wands. Page of Wands is a new adventure. So I feel like a lot of you could be going on a new adventure, or there is a new adventure opportunity coming in for you. And again, I would take advantage of it with the Page of Wands. With the Tower and the Seahorse, you have the Pineapple. It says reconciliation on it. And then you have the Valley. It says deep personal strength and peace that assures success. This looks very, very good. for you here. So I do feel like some of you, I don't really feel like reconciliation and love here with the pineapple card. I mean, it's always possible. I always tell people, again, I don't do ex-back readings for a reason. If you want to go back to your ex, I mean, fine, I'm not going to tell you what to do. But, again, I feel like this is talking about reconciliation, as in, I feel like you are reconciling something with yourself. It's like you're realizing the changes that you have to make in yourself. That's what I feel like the reconciliation is. For others, if you're owed money or something like that, I'm also getting that could be the reconciliation. It's like if someone owes you money or someone owes you something, I feel like you could be getting it there. That Valley card is very good. I feel you are definitely going through a very deep change with this reading. With the Eight of Cups, you have the Three of Wands. What are you waiting for? Again, I don't know. I always talk about this. I had an interview like a year ago or something with Leo King, and we were talking about kind of, the way he describes it, it's almost like everybody is kind of waiting for like permission to change, or is like waiting for someone to say like, okay, you can, he says it's like people are waiting outside of a theater and they're all like waiting to go in to see a movie that is like their new life, but it's like nobody's going into the theater. And again, all of us are doing it. I'm doing it. I've been doing it. He's been doing it, I think, as well, like he said in that interview. And it's like, what are we waiting for? And I get that feeling with the Three of Wands. It's like, I feel like we're all waiting for permission, but it's like there's nobody is going to give us permission to do anything, is what I feel. I feel that, part of me feels like, without turning into too much of a conspiracy theorist here, the whole COVID thing was to, part of me feels like one thing that we've realized is that, our leaders are just a bunch of chickens with their heads cut off. Basically, they just run around. They don't know what they're talking about. They don't know what they're doing and all this other stuff. And again, that's not a political statement, but it is a statement that really, no matter which side you're on, it's like, do they really know what they're doing? No. Have they made anything better? No, ever. Never. So I feel that people are realizing that, and a little bit scary, but at the same time, I feel like it's kind of giving us permission to maybe enter into the theater that is our new life, and to make changes that we want to make. With the King of Swords here, you have the Two of Pentacles, which you have twice. Two of Pentacles, card of hard work. I really feel like you're putting in the work to be successful at this time. Again, as always, a great time to learn. So King of Swords could be education as well. With that Two of Pentacles would say learning how to do something could be very beneficial. With the Nine of Swords, you have the Four of Cups. Again, it's funny that I said my biggest problem with the energy right now was whatever I said at the beginning of the reading. This is my other problem with the energy right now, is Four of Cups and the Nine of Swords. It's like we are manifesting the things that we want, but it just doesn't look like it. That's why it's funny that I said be flexible in how you get to your mission, how you accomplish your mission or get to your goal or whatever. Because again, the Four of Cups is like disappointments in the things that you're manifesting. So I feel like you could be manifesting like steps or, goals or whatever, or it's like you're manifesting kind of pieces of the bigger picture, but I feel like that Nine of Swords is saying don't get disappointed when you don't get the whole thing, right? So I feel like we need to realize that we are manifesting what we want, but just like coming in smaller bits or pieces or things like that. So, that's what I'll say here, but this is a pretty powerful reading. I feel like you're focused on your mission, which is what this reading is saying, and that's exactly what I'd be doing. If you don't have a mission, I feel like you should come up with one. Again, I'm not telling you what to do. As I always say, tarot can't tell you what to do. Just the advice that I'm getting here is to come up with a mission. If you don't want to do it, that's fine. But, I feel like you need kind of like that North Star, the star card, which you have here. That is your North Star. It is your guiding light, right? I feel like that'll be very powerful for you. And again, I feel like people discount their mission. Your mission could, like I said, could be to have a family, to raise a healthy family, or, to be healthy. Maybe your mission is that you want to be healthy. It's like the star, here's the thing. I don't want to go off on a rant here, but it's like, we don't have to have some big crazy ass mission. The star is about being an example for other people. It's about showing other people that something is possible. So maybe you just want to be healthy. By being healthy, you're showing other people that they can be healthy, and then it gives them permission to do it. So it's like you're living your mission at that point. I think you just need to come up with a mission. It could be something that you see as small, but it's probably not, probably pretty big. So love it. Thank you for being here, Scorpio. Really appreciate it. Make sure to watch your sun, moon, and rising for a full picture of what's going on for you at this time. But thank you, and definitely enjoy your week.